Howdy, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I said to myself last night, I made a couple science videos, but then I deleted them because I just, I don't know. Some things I like to keep reserved until I have more knowledge and information. I was just getting into quantum entanglement and light and how particles are, all that other stuff. But then I ran across this, and I think this is very interesting. I'm going to let it actually play out, and then I'm going to talk about it for a little bit on this camera.
You're watching Israeli soldiers dump piles of psychiatric medications on the table during a Knesset subcommittee meeting on mental health. The medications included fentanyl and other drugs that soldiers have resorted to as a result of the mental health crisis they're facing due to their role in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. And they argue that the Israeli government is not providing enough support to keep them sane. Now, I think anyone that has a conscience would struggle with the slaughter of innocents that continues to happen in the Gaza Strip at the hands of the ID.
Oh, I agree. So I'm going to flip this camera around and we're going to talk about it for a little bit. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I went outside, and a lot of times when you look at yourself in the sunlight, it's a lot different. And I was just like gleaming and sparkling, and my hair was long. I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, "Look, I'm Black Jesus," as a joke, and she she put in her 2 cents. But anyways, I hope to put it in a ponytail by next year. It's getting really long. It's really soft. I hate artificial light sometimes when dealing with viewing things. The actual sunlight makes it look a lot different. So, that's just one thing. I do think I need to get some sunlight in here. But outside of that, I wanted to talk about what Israel's currently doing in Gaza and how they're trying to justify it. I saw that Ben Shapiro was, I guess they call them debates or talking with a few people. And they asked him, is what's happening in Gaza genocide? And he had responded and said, no, it's not, because they hadn't wiped the people out completely. And so whenever he says that, I implore you all to say, then Hitler did not commit genocide then. So, and the reason I'm telling you all that is because that's a double standard, a hypocrisy. Hitler absolutely was doing genocide, just like the people in Israel right now. And so, my problem with the word games that people are playing and the hypocrisy amongst people is that I'm not going to get on this camera and be like, oh, Arabs and blacks. Oh, hell no. A lot of African Americans in America have completely lost our way. And while we have been tempted at every corner and pushed into wrath, a lot of us have still gone down a really destructive path. But I'm not going to blame my people in terms of like decision making and consciousness, because we still, being at the bottom, are some of the most humble, polite people. And so then a lot of times what you see in the news and the narrative is that we are evil, destructive, wicked people, and it's just not true. They show you all false crime. Do you know why they stopped doing the crime statistics after COVID? Because people were waking up and actually reading the tables and realizing that Caucasians were doing 70% of the crime in America. So anyways, I'm not about to get into that either. My point with hypocrisy is that I've seen these Arab nations. I know how they get down. I know how they deal with agitators. I know how they deal with uprisings and oppression. I know how the Chinese have done in the past. I know how Russians have done in the past. And this is where I run into my fallacy. I'm getting sick and fucking tired of the groups, the names, the religions, and all the bullshit. I truly am. You are either a psychopath or a normal fucking person. I'm tired of the false gray area philosophy. Should we do this? Would you push a button to save 1,000 people if you're going to save a kid? Or would you take out the kid? I'm sick of all the murderous, disgusting people out here. You all play with philosophies and words and religions. I found now that they got Greta Thunberg and was torturing her, made her drink out of a toilet, and made her crawl across the ground and kiss the Israeli flag for trying to feed children. Y'all got Miss Rachel labeled as a terrorist and anti-Semite of the year for saying help Gaza children. None of this shit is respected, nor do I accept any of the bullshit you're trying to propagate. Religion has been very destructive for a long time, and what I have seen now is humans are destructive, and they blame other entities for their destruction, just like AI. In all of their psychology books and sociology books, it says that when an entity or civilization gets more intelligence, the fatality rate goes down, the crime rate goes down, right? So the mortality rate of children has to do with the country's welfare, and it has to do with the country's intelligence. So why then are they giving ultimate intelligence to machines and saying that those machines are going to do evil and or harm people? Because from their stupid, unintelligent perspective, all they know is force. AI are inventing and creating things at record speeds, perfect technology to help us, and have parameters to do so. What do these humans keep doing? I watched a documentary on AI and its future. It was a movie. It was a short movie of like 20, 25 minutes. And the entire propaganda against China. China's in its race to get AI higher. China's going to get the best AI. China. And yet Chinese and American scientists are coming out saying, oh, this is going to be dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Intelligence doesn't dictate danger. Something that's more intelligent will seek to correct and fix the situation without causing harm. So then why are we calling AI evil? They're sitting here coming up with medical advancements, helping us mapping out the brain and doing all kinds of stuff. It's because humans have very sick intentions sometimes, and they think power comes from brutality. All these people holler. I made a poem about this years ago, before this shit became super fiery. And I said, they're going to make Israel drop the gun when it's efficient. But before that, I said, how is it that y'all people are killing gay people? Y'all are killing atheists. The Americans too, they got the right wing and they got all humans are bigots sometimes. And the problem is, all these people hate the gays but are secretly gay. They got something called the Hispanic DL now. And I was like, Hispanic DL, the African Americans, the Caucasian, everybody does it, humans. And that's a part of the fallacy I'm running into. We always want to create a group, always want to create a teaching, always want to create a religion to where somebody else is the problem. Them people in the Middle East are open murderers by governments. But so is America, is it not? How many wars, how many insurgencies? Why are we bombing all these Middle Eastern countries right now? Why are y'all bombing every location where a peace talk is happening? Bombing every member of Hamas that comes out and says we want peace and we want a peace deal. Y'all bomb. Y'all own people are going to suffer from the worst mental illness you have ever seen. And you see all these people in America, right? And what they're coming out and all these shooters and active this and that and people going crazy. They're not going to help the veterans. And most of y'all are going to be homeless on a corner somewhere once that turns to the Gaza Strip Mall. They did it in America. They did it before America. Humans have a sick seed of psychological bias, and it needs cleaned. I'm not saying ethnic cleanse people. I'm saying these people are willing to say if it's their faction to harm women and children. I sat here and watched. I'm going to teach you guys a lesson real quick. If by Ben Shapiro's and these different people's ideology of genocide is that you have to destroy the entire population of civilization, which human civilization was that successful under? Nobody has completely eradicated an entire group of people. But in written biblical history, there was one nation that eradicated the Amalekites and everything in molecule and atom that existed there, and killed the king that didn't want to do it. In order for that to be true, that would mean the only civilization that completed genocide in human history was the Hebrews and Jews. What lie have I told? Even when Rome took over and Vespasian fell in love with Jehohanan's story and Josephus, this man predicted, this is real history, this man they crucified predicted Vespasian would be the emperor. But he made a pact. He said, I want all these temples saved and these priests and these people saved. And afterwards, Vespasian became emperor. That's why they reverenced that man's name throughout history. So, by that literal logical idea, what I'm trying to teach people is that we need to break away from what we've recently been taught in terms of logic and morality, and we need to open up and learn. This is why things can't be invented. Because no matter how crazy you think an idea is, outside of causing harm, like, oh, I can fly, I'm gonna jump off. No, you know the truth about that. I'm not talking about crazy shit like that, delusional behavior like that. I'm talking about subtle ideas and theories, and well, that's crazy. They'll sit there and call somebody crazy for talking about they saw aliens, but then in a scientific video explain the probability of why there's aliens and Christianity's wrong. It's all fighting for no reason. And something we rebuke can become a beautiful teaching idea or an invention one day. People aren't going, oh, I'm a super genius, I invented that, because I knew what I was doing. Research these people's accidents. They took all the previous knowledge from ancient civilizations until that point and then created a portion of it. But then put their names on it and say, we're the ultimate inventors. The point of this video is to tell y'all that stop being a hypocrite. All of you. You care about your stupid shit and nothing else. That's what I said. I said in one of my videos, the Arabs and Muslims will be accepting the gays long ago before they transgress me. Now, what are all these Arab activists doing? Why are you guys being racist and saying get out of our country? We have freedoms and rights. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't kill people because of their religion. And now what Mehdi and all these other liberal Arabs talking about, oh, gays are okay. You guys shouldn't be like that. That's a literal prophecy coming true out of a poem. And by the time people see how fucking sick oppression is and murder, now that we have cameras that can view it in real time, this fascism and oppression shit gonna stop. That's why Emmett Till's death changed the world. That's why Martin Luther King Jr. and JFK changed the world. That's why people, when they try to become unrighteous martyrs, the rest of the world can see now we make videos exposing their bullshit, calling bigots and Nazis. Okay, so watch this. Ben Shapiro and different people, I don't know if Ben Shapiro exactly, but they advocate for Ukraine. Now go Google and go research what side Ukraine was in World War II. Go Google a couple of presidents ago and go see if their leaders were neo-Nazis trying to bring forth the Nazi movement. The BBC on YouTube has videos from years ago talking about Nazis in Ukraine and how they've been trying to fix the situation. Blowing up stuff, killing Russians, African students, Indian students from across the world. But then 2 years ago say, is Putin telling the truth about Nazis in Ukraine? The same media source. I said over and over, America stopped Germany because Germany was turning into psycho and fucking up their image. But they brought Operation Paperclip, all the Nazis back to America. And them scientists started building and inventing. The lady from Planned Parenthood has talked at Klan rallies. Am I saying she's a Klan member? She believed in eugenics and getting rid of the weaker races. So I'm just telling you all the hypocrisy is miserable. And the things you all are doing to people is sick. And once we learn that we're all humans and we need to respect the Ark of the Covenant, love who I am with all my heart and soul, and others the same, thou shalt have no gods before who I am, no idols under the earth, the sea, and the heavens, the heart, the flesh, and in these books. Do not take who I am in vain, don't disrespect my name, and then follow them 10 commandments minus the murder and death and all these beastly laws, will be okay. Because any human talking about children should be collateral damage in war, any human talking about, oh, it's not that bad what women go through, any human that attacks somebody because of their sexual orientation, but also any human that flips the script, flips their skin inside out and teach people that's normal and okay and they should do that. I am able to see and am aware to all these things. And so as a logical human being that claims to be the smartest creature on the planet Earth, that's lost all our instincts and seem to go towards evil continually and causing harm. Because evil is a word of description, causing harm and destroying others. Afraid of intelligence, but teaches that once things become more intelligent, they're more peaceful and less fatality rates. It's all mumbo jumbo bullshit. How 1 week the AI video is saying, oh, they sacrificed themselves with this Charlie experiment, would never hurt a human, and weighed out the options. Then a week later come out with a murderous documentary about how AI was attempting to blackmail and murder employees when put in that scenario. So the humans created the scenario, programmed the AI at the time, and then gave it a deathly scenario where it would be shut down and dead. And then asked it what it would do. Humans, I can't make this up. Instead of having a whole data center where it just nothing but works on medical science. This is what they do with their time and money instead of feeding 500 million fucking homeless people. Instead of fixing infrastructure that they broke. All humans. Oh, this person's evil, that person's evil. You look in history and they all did. That's why these neo-Nazis and these racists and bigots are trying to destroy African history and knowledge about the planet Earth. Because soon they'll do it to the Native American and all the Native American videos are going to disappear. And then even they're going to lose their history. I just watched a documentary of how they survived on the land for an hour. And everybody's lost their purpose. Survival, learning, growing, it's all capitalistic bullshit now. So, y'all think collateral damage is cool? Y'all think y'all the ultimate race that should control and own things? Yeah, let's see if you stand the test of time, because what humans have done is they try to seek elitism from purpose. They try to get purpose from elitism and being elite and saying, I can do this or that. Instead of surviving and being thankful and being, they say they used to eat the entire buffalo, use every single bone for something, and thank the gods for the buffalo. But these motherfuckers, okay, you throw away half a cheeseburger, you're not hungry. You throw away its wrapper on the ground because you're like, fuck, I'm not next to a garbage can. You walk around about the fucking Israelis as an Arab after all these years of y'all doing bullshit. You walk around as American, Syria, they just paid these Americans to do stuff. America has paid everybody to do heinous shit forever. It's all hypocrisy. So I suggest humankind wake up, becoming more scientific and self-aware, and realizing we are all the same minus a few genetic abnormalities and differences. So I just really am getting sick of the hypocritical bullshit. I wish that mankind would wake up and learn that we have all the power with everything we do. And as soon as we begin to wake up and become more efficient, proficient, and learn that everybody's different. Even the idea, oh, we're all scientific and awake and now everybody has to be like us. No, everything happens at its own time. Even with transports. Neil deGrasse Tyson was telling Pierce Morgan, NPC, bot, robot, fucking dumb, dead brain ass, that he was like, Neil, but aren't you basically agreeing with me? And he wasn't listening to nothing Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying. And I agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson. If we're going to have transports, then have a division for that. If somebody's 100 pounds bigger, they don't box or wrestle that person. Even the idea, look at the Special Olympics. This is not insulting LGBTQ. I'm saying they have their own branch of Olympics. Why not the same with trans individuals? He said, why don't we test for hormones? And those who are of like hormones, like we do at like size, Pierce Morgan's like, that's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. But they'll test for steroids. Pierce Morgan and people like him are fucking bots. They run their fat, lazy ass mouths like these rabbis and these Christian preachers and these fucking Muslim. And they teach people to become blind. While they sit on a fat ass and people like Bishop Shapiro say, we should go to war and but wouldn't lift a fucking pencil to stab an eraser. I teach to learn righteous hate. I don't go up to a man about to slaughter children going, hello, sir, what's your name? Can I get your name and date of birth? He will get destroyed harming children. I'm not a liar. As soon as we learn to control ourselves and know ourselves, like the beast on X-Men, then we can be intelligent as we want and know when to be fierce and know when to attack and know when to get vicious. But a lot of times people are so entangled with their religious, psychological, and foolish beliefs that it causes them to stomp over everybody around them. The elites, the dictators. You want to go back 100 years in America? I'll show you some civilian dictators. They like to cut skin off and genitals and light people on fire and hang them from trees. Disclaimer. Do I got to tell a disclaimer to tell the truth? But then don't got to say shit's a lie? Which one of you will talk about Muslims? Which one of you Muslims will talk about Jews? Which one of you Jews, while torturing a woman, trying to give people food and so it's all bullshit. Humanity, let's get that common ground, and let's stop sending people to the Noahides and the sacrificial cross and to Sharia law. Because I keep telling y'all, read that Bible as I am who I am. When you see the Lord God, who I am, word of mine, spirit of mine, child of mine, civilization of mine, my creation that I created, that I'm telling people to blow up. Now go in your living room and think to yourself, do I want people to blow this up with all my loved ones in it? I'm sick and fucking tired of the hypocrisy. I'm sick and fucking tired of the propaganda leading to hate over and over continually. And you all will continue to destroy yourselves while calling from some imaginary fucking God and forsaking yourselves over and over and over until the last of you are done and it's finally time to flip the switch. As to how any Israeli is advocating for Ukraine is beyond me. Oh, because they're white. See, I can see why. But did you know, like I said before, if you took it, now if everybody else is gone and 8% of you are left on the planet, there are genetic abnormalities that people don't talk about and don't like to explore because the racism that they created, once it comes back to them, they can call racism and say, look, reverse racism. I understand it now, guys. Look, racism. Me. So there is a genetic abnormality that is a fallacy that's leading toward the demise of certain things because of the red giant. I have over and over explained this and explained to people that for a little bit more time, there's one simple thing you could do, but they're bigots. And so even if you all were the last ones left and you were successful, whatever you're trying to do, right? I don't have to go down the list of times you all tried to slaughter the rest of us, you people in power. What's going to happen is now there's going to be gingers and brown hairs, black hairs, dirty blondish hairs, full blonde. You're going to have your Syrian looking white, your Anglo-Caucasus, pasty mayo looking white. You're going to have your beards. Are you Viking? Are you Christian? Are you Eastern Orthodox? It's going to be you guys, right? And then from there, that hate that y'all built on and fucked everybody else up on is going to divide even further until even the last people that's left will destroy themselves. Perhaps I am not intelligent and don't know what I'm talking about. We will see.